If you want to improve your posture, stop doing a bunch of fancy exercises and just stand up. Join us. Let's do it together. All right, team, today might be the most boring workout we've ever done, but boring does not mean ineffective. Most people try to fix their posture through doing fancy exercises and fancy machines and fancy equipment. But realistically, you have it in you to stand up tall. Most of us, it's shoulders back, rib cage down, butt squeezed, but as a result of sitting too much, we stand maybe like this. So what we're gonna do today is fix that. We're gonna hang and we're gonna stand, alternating for 20 minutes. I'm gonna talk you through it as we go. Let's get it started. We're gonna start with a hang. So get yourself a pull-up bar or a play structure or a tree that you can hang on to, and we're doing it. All right, hang is first, 10 seconds. You want to think about squeezing the abs. I'm going to talk to you through this today. Really focus on those abs. 2, 1. You can even keep your feet on the ground here and really just think about opening up at the shoulders, right? We're thinking opening up the rib cage. And that's gonna come from squeezing the abs and squeezing the butt. If I don't squeeze the abs, I arch, and the back opens up. So I wanna think, squeeze the butt, hold the hips right underneath me, relax the shoulders, but also make sure that the head and chest are basically through the arms. We're gonna talk more about this as we go, but that's your focus on this first one. Abs are on, chest is up, butt squeezed. The chest is proud. Okay, we're trying to open up the upper back. There's 10 seconds. So I'll show you what I mean here as we do this one. 3, 2, 1. And our focus here is just standing up tall. So if this is our default, the back is arched. First, squeeze the butt, and you may even bend the knees a little bit, and then lift the chest. So if you've been here before, you know that posture is not my strong suit. You'll notice the shoulders often sink forward. So lifting the chest up, creating really what I'm looking for if I'm watching myself is more or less a neutral spine, no excessive arch, right? So the butt is squeezed and the chest is lifted and shoulders back. So that if you look, my back is flat as opposed to rounded forward. So you notice the thoracic spine, which is this section between your neck and your belly button, tends to round forward naturally. But if we round forward too much, we end up like the old people who can't stand up. All right, we're coming back to the hang. 3, feel free to switch the grip. 2, 1. So that's our main focus here, is opening up the thoracic spine. If you want, you can mix up the grip. I'm going with a palms back grip now, or palms open, or chin up grip. And once again, you're thinking about squeezing the abs a lot. Because the tendency here is to, if you relax, the back arches. So really keep that butt squeezed, abs squeezed, and thinking about getting your chest through. You can even walk the feet back a little bit, squeeze the butt and abs, and then think about dropping your chest through your arms, but keeping those abs squeezed. This is maybe the main focus, because if you don't squeeze the abs, the back arches, and then we're not getting any pull through the upper back again. Focus on your breathing. 10 seconds, and come on back in. So I know this is boring, but this is gonna be effective. Just gonna stand tall. 3, 2, 1. Set your feet right underneath your hips. Squeeze the butt. And if you don't know if you're squeezing your butt, poke yourself in the butt. Find out, hey, is this effective? Am I doing it right? Stand tall. Go sideways here. So chest is proud, shoulders are back. Because I can go chest proud and still have my shoulders sitting forward. The shoulders back, chest is up, butt squeezed. And let's stay tall here. I start to feel this in the upper back as I do it, because those muscles are not used to lifting me up. They're used to being relaxed forward. So if you start to feel a burn anywhere here, that's the lazy part, right? That's the muscle group or whatever that hasn't been active and part of the reason why our posture is not as good as we'd like. Ideally, I want to be able to stand up my whole life, and part of that is, can I get my arms overhead as well? 3, go back to the hang, 2, 1. The more our bodies round forward, the more it brings the scapula forward, the less we can get our arms overhead. So you may not, Maple, stop chewing that. You may not think this is that important because, who cares what you look like, but it's the position of the upper body and the, rounding or arching of it that will dictate how you can actually function with your arms and the types of range of motion you have access to with your arms and shoulders. Because if the body rounds forward, the arms are not going to come up overhead. So you can see here, I have my legs behind me and I'm rocking back and forth into this position, trying to open up a little bit more, making sure I'm squeezing the abs tight so I'm not overarching as we do so. All right, we're coming back in. Remember, squeeze the butt, lift the chest. That's the checklist. Trying to create a straight line. You'll notice my butt still sticks out there, so I can overdo it and pull that under, but notice it bends my knees. So I'm trying to keep the legs straight while squeezing the butt. If you're really, really tight in the hip flexors, right? If you sit at a desk a lot, these things are gonna be real tight, and what happens is that tension in the front pulls us into extension, right? We see that? That's a tight hip flexor right there. So squeeze the butt hard. Think about tilting the pelvis. You can even think about this line on your shorts or your pants. If we're extended, that line angles down. Whereas if we're on, think about this, your shorts as a fishbowl. And if I'm extended, my fish are pouring out the front. Whereas if I'm neutral, I'm squeezing the butt, the fish don't pull out or don't fall out. All right, coming back to the hang. 3, I'm gonna change the grip up. 2, 1, go ahead. Yeah, I definitely try out if you can. Get the feet back behind you and give a little bit of pressure, pushing yourself forward through the arms. Keep breathing. Keep the abs on, because if you're pushing with the feet from behind you, it's very easy to push your body into a torso extension too much. So keep the butt squeezed, keep the abs squeezed, and then push through there. Trying to open up the thoracic spine. Abs and butt squeezed. Another 20 seconds or so, although we haven't been holding the whole time. But you can hold that whole minute. You could even go 2 minutes on, 2 minutes off and switch it up. 10 seconds. To be honest, when I was thinking about this workout, come on in, I was thinking it was going to be just 20 minutes of standing up. 2, 1, stand tall, squeeze the butt, lift the chest, pull the shoulders back. But what I figured that might be a little too boring, so the hang we added in there. One other thing you can think about here, maybe even a simpler way to think about this, right? We're telling you that you can fix your posture through almost nothing at all, but literally just being in a better posture. And that's true. The other piece to think about, maybe a simpler way to think about it is just lift your head, right? I think that's a cue that we all used to get. Imagine you're a puppet and your head is on a string and just reach it up. But notice I can lift up and break, right? If I lift the rib cage too much and don't focus on the midline, then I lose that control. So lift the chest, but at the same time, squeeze the abs and squeeze the butt so that we stay tall and not just arched. We're coming back to the hang. 3, 2, 1. Chin up grip here. I know this may seem slow, but this is the type of thing that, we neglect and we see the detriments of not doing it. If you do it consistently, you will see benefits, but it's more so about avoiding the detriments, right? The more we round forward, the more we spend time in these, human created positions, the more we are tight and the more we, call it deteriorate, really. We're gonna get worse and worse at it if we don't work on it. You snooze, you lose, or move it or lose it, right? Those muscles that put us into those postures, be they positive or negative postures, they get reinforced. The more they do that same thing, the more they get better at it. 3, 2, 1, go. So really, you know, our lives, there's a term in fitness called the SAID principle, specific adaptation to implied demand. So you get what you do, right? If I want to get better at squatting, I'm going to squat, and that's going to make me better at squatting. If I want to get better at standing up tall, like, I just need to do it. And it's just like any other regular habit. The more consistently you think about it, the more consistently you do it, the more effective it is. Therefore, build a system, build a routine, right? If we could just be here every day, and if you know this is your weakness, spend 20 minutes, spend half an hour on it every day. This might be part of your homework, that you're gonna make that progress. It doesn't need to be fancy exercises or fancy gear. We just need to stand up, right? If I want to get better at running, I just need to run. If I want to get better at hanging, I just need to hang. 3, 2, 1, there's no fanciness. I think we get caught up oftentimes in the fact that there are so many programs and so many products and so many, you know, different ways to do things that we forget the basics. You know, like, you don't need a gym, you don't need gear, you just need to move. You just need to stand up. You just need to, really, part of it is just assessing, right? It's being aware. Hey, like, what are my strengths and weaknesses? What are areas that I need to put some extra work into to improve if I want to become something, right? Step 1, define what you want to be, who you want to be, what your goals are, and then just do the thing, right? This is definitely something that I don't put enough time into, and it's because I think, like most of us, we don't see it as sexy. It's not a fun workout. We're not getting the heart rate up. 3, 2, 1, stand tall. You don't see, you know, a pump after it. You don't see huge fitness benefit, but it's the type of thing that if you don't take seriously, you know, the posture deteriorates, or whatever base we're building deteriorates, and the cool things that you want to do are less accessible. Because we lose, you know, as I'm saying, if I continue to round 4 and as a result I can no longer get my arms overhead, there's certain things that I can't do. You know, certain games I can't play, certain exercises I can't do. Therefore, there's a level of maintenance or, you know, boring accessory work that we have to do so that we can do the cool stuff. Right? This is our active recovery day. We do one every Sunday. It's not always the same like this. Keep squeezing, keep standing. 10 seconds. But we do once a week. We bring the intensity down to take care of our bodies, to be intentional. 3, 2, 1. To do the stuff that's, you know, less sexy, less cool, so that we can do that stuff for the rest of the week. Right? We take this day to take care of our bodies a little bit extra, so that we can push hard and make progress on our fitness during the week without bogging down, right? Without causing ourselves injuries, without having to take a break because our bodies are beat up or our minds are beat up. This is a mental reset as well. Thinking about, hey, can I make my body feel really good so that when I get into my workout tomorrow, I feel even better. And I'm improving my postures and my body's tolerances to positions and stresses so that as I exercise, I'm able to get better and better. 3, 2, 1, stand tall. If you want to, you could walk around here a little bit. I would just walk weirdly, right? Make it awkward, make it a little bit slow, get that extra butt squeeze. You know, you want to think like my posture is so exaggerated right now that people would look at me and be like, wow, you've got really good posture, even though, you know, maybe we don't. But we're trying to find perfect. You're perfect. We're teaching those muscles, hey, this is the position that you want to work for. And just like a squat, if I do this over and over again, those muscles are going to get stronger, right? Their job is to lift my chest, keep my shoulders back, keep my neck in line with my body, not out in front. And they've just gotten weak as a result of not using them so much. So if you're in the same boat, all it takes is stand up. Maybe if you are watching TV or you're brushing your teeth or whatever, can you remind yourself, 3, 2, 1, hang? Can you remind yourself, hey, this position is where I should be, and the more time I spend here, the easier it's going to be here consistently or long-term or regularly, to make this my natural default posture. We get up early every day here on the 5 a.m. Squat Club. And just like anything, if you do it consistently and you do it over and over again, it gets easier. So just like standing up tall and training those muscles to be in a better position, if you do it over and over again, it's going to get easier. It's going to become just what you do and how you stand. The people who have good posture, it's not a genetic predisposition. It's not they got lucky. It's they happened to stand taller. They happened to use those postural muscles, 3, 2, 1, better or easier, or it just, it came naturally to them. And some of us didn't. Some of us don't care. We didn't take it seriously. Maybe we work at a desk more. Whatever it is, there's no blame. It's, I've assessed it. This is where I'm at. This is what I need to do. And now just take action, right? If I want to get good at skipping rope, I'm not going to do squats. I'm going to skip rope, right? If I want to get good at baking, that's a bad example. We don't talk baking. Then I'm going to bake, right? If I want to get good at, wrangling sheep, if you're new here, we're first generation livestock farmers. We raise all our own protein. But if I want to get good at that because I don't have experience, I need to do it. I need to do it over and over again, and that's going to build the skill, just like this skill here. As much as it doesn't seem like an exercise, 5, 3, 2, 1, abs on, butt squeezed. Even though this doesn't seem like an exercise, it is, right? Those muscles have to work, especially if they've gotten weak, to be in those upright postures. The more you practice, the more you work those out. As small as they seem and as insignificant, because I'm not lifting big heavy weights with those muscles, but the more you do it, the better it gets. The more they get used to it, and they can be in those positions and those postures with much less work. Right? Those muscles build capacity, and it becomes like rest eventually to use those postures or to be in those good postures, where right now, when it's not our default, it takes a lot of work and effort and thought to do. Right? That's the whole point of building a habit, and that's the whole point of this routine, is that we are building positive habits and routines. 3, 2, 1, back to standing tall. We're building a system that forces us to make progress. You get to choose what that progress entails, right? We're gonna work our fitness, but then afterwards, as part of this full routine in the morning, you choose what you do for an hour of action. Be it on your fitness or your posture, or be it on your new business, or be it on your relationships or your garden. I don't know, whatever your goal is, it's the same format for fixing your posture, for fixing anything in your life. Do the thing directly, and you'll see it improve. You could buy one of those. I've seen a lot of those straps that you wear around your back, and it pulls your shoulders back. The problem with that thing, and we're going to talk about toe spacers and all that other kind of stuff as well. 10 seconds. Here, we're going to, now I'm thinking about it, right? You've got your 3, 2, 1. You've got your, straps that pull your shoulders back. You've got your toe spacers. You've got your orthotics in your shoes. All of those things are Band-Aids. And the issue with them is they don't actually teach the muscles to create the positions, right? So if I put one of those straps on, it's artificially pulling my shoulders back into a better position. The muscles that do that naturally are getting no work. So when I take that thing off, realistically, I don't get any of the benefit from it. Same thing with something like a toe spacer or an orthotic. You have you have muscles in your foot, in your feet, in your toes, everywhere that are meant to bring those things apart, right? They're meant to control your toes and give you mobility and the ability to, move them around and whatnot. And you have muscles, muscles in your foot that create an arch. And when you put the orthotic on there, Mabel, stop, or the toe spacers or whatever it is, those muscles just get weak because they don't have to actually put you into that position anymore, right? When you put an orthotic under your arch, the muscles that naturally create your arch get weaker and weaker and weaker because they don't need to hold that position. You're putting a crutch underneath there in essence to do it for you. And as a result, they don't need to improve those positions. So if you're thinking about, spacing your toes, space your toes. Sit there, move your feet, grab things with a towel. If you want to improve your arches without wearing orthotics, then grab things with your toes, use your feet, or even just be conscious, hey, am I arching my foot right now? As opposed to rolling in and flattening. 3, 2, 1, and there we go. So I know that this may not have been the most exciting session, but it could have been the most important one for you, right? If you want to fix something, change something, work on something, do it, right? Go directly to that thing and work on it. If you like this, join us every single morning on the 5 a.m. Squat Club live stream.